What's happening, guys? Cowboy here, and today we're going to be doing a review of the Tobii EyeX eye tracker. So you may remember that I got one of these about 2 months ago, I guess. And I did a showcase of it using both Deus Ex and then Master of Orion, kind of showing what the eye tracker could do in those games. But I never really took any time to talk about the product itself and kind of what it's capable of. So I figured with the Christmas season approaching, it is something that could make a cool gift to someone who would make use of it. So if I was ever going to do a product review, now would be the time. So to talk about the product itself, first thing I want to say is it's probably one of the easiest kind of plug and play things I've ever received, considering what it offers. You basically have three pieces. You have the EyeX controller, which is this little guy right here. You have a little magnet strip, which you quite simply just click onto it, and then you stick that onto your monitor. And then you have a USB cord, which you plug it on in, and then you're all set to go with it. So once you have it all set and mounted, let me plug this one back in, and I'll kind of show what it looks like. Pretty straightforward. I actually like to angle mine a little bit because I'm a bit taller. And then it'll look like this. You can see right there, we have those three little dots, and these are what is going to be tracking your eye movements as you do stuff. So it's not just the hardware setup that's easy, the software is also super straightforward. Basically, it's going to go in and kind of just give us a peek at what this is capable of. The first time I actually got to try this, I was like a giddy little schoolboy. I was like, Paige, come downstairs, look at this, sit down, try this out. But quite literally, you just sit and you start looking, and immediately go on over, practice the targeting. I'm basically Superman, bitches. Don't you get away from me. And that's how simple the setup is. So super straightforward stuff for sure. So we talked about what the device is capable of, but we haven't talked about whether or not it would be useful to you. And ultimately, I feel that's going to come down to whether or not you play games that the eye tracker is compatible with. While I do think the product is really easy to set up and really easy to use, at the same time, it does have a somewhat limited game pool, and I feel that that is probably the biggest con of it right now. Now, given this is still really new tech and we're seeing it kind of develop as time goes on, there are some big titles in there as well. You got GTA 5, you got quite a few of the Assassin's Creed games, Deus Ex, Soulless Project, DayZ, Elite Dangerous. So there's a lot of titles that I do play in that list, but at the same time, because it's so new and because you need to have that kind of cross-dev development between both Tobii and the dev studios, it's not in every title out there. So that is kind of one of the few things I think that's holding it back. I do know games like GTA 5, it's a community-made mod that introduces the eye tracking into the game. Personally, I would love to see a mod that introduces this into Skyrim. I think being able to just, look around the screen in Skyrim and have your character's field of vision pan would be just absolutely phenomenal. But I looked around and couldn't find anything like that so far, and it was something that was mentioned way back when, so I don't know if it kind of fell off the table with the release of Skyrim Special Edition or what the case is, but it is something that I think would be huge with this product. So all in all, my consensus is if you play games that this is supported with, I think it's worth the buy. It's about $100, which really isn't that bad considering how much immersion and expansion it'll add into the game. But at the same time, because of that limited pool, I do think that's a big purchase factor when you're looking at whether or not this is something that will be useful to you. So before we wrap this one on up, a couple of last minute thoughts. Of course, I will have a link in the description down below to the Tobii EyeX site with a list of all the games currently supported. I know in general they do a lot of work with Ubisoft, Avalanche, and Square Enix, so pretty good variety right there. And then there's a couple indie titles in there. And of course, if your game isn't in that list, it may just be the case that a mod exists for it that you just have to Google and search it out. I know personally, looking forward to the future, I'm really hoping to see For Honor support using this product because I am so hyped for that game. And the two things I'd like, either one, I think what would probably be balanced is just being able to kind of like a field of view extender, like look, and in third person view, when you look, it just kind of extends and shows what's going on around you. But if you could use the eye tracker to actually dictate where you're striking and blocking from with like the up, left, and right, that would be bonkers amazing. But that might be a little bit too broken. I don't know if it still has support, but I know you used to be able to do Rainbow Six Siege with this thing, but it was like look and aim, and people were just annihilating fools with it. So maybe that's a little too OP and it wouldn't work for Honor. I mean, I don't know where the Rainbow Six support went. I don't know if they're revising it or if they took it off because it was like broke and powerful. You know, definitely some interesting capability. Like when first-person shooters, this is borderline unfair. So I think that's kind of what we're seeing. We're not seeing as much support in titles like that yet, but I think moving towards the future, this could definitely be kind of like a standard in that area. So anyway, thanks for coming on by and checking out the video. I hope you guys like it. If you do get one and you end up trying it out, let me know your thoughts on it. And with that being said, we'll catch you guys next time.